everybody? Welcome back. Brofluent, Ep.7. It's been a minute, but we're here. Brother Tom in the building. What's good, my fellow man?
What's up, my cousin? I don't know, man. It's just these technical difficulties are killing me, man.
Yeah, things have
My
been.
computer broke, my MacBook, of course. So I still got to go get that fixed. I'm using someone else's computer, so we're back though,
Right.
and hopefully now we'll be consistent. We'll be good, and we got a lot to talk about, so that's the good part.
A lot. We have a lot to unpack today, but the main thing we got to start off with, NFL Week 1 is here. It happened.
Yes,
It's
sir.
come and gone, but we have football. COVID didn't stop it, so hey, man, all of our teams look like they're in some shit.
Well, the thing is, I just looked at the power rankings, and your team is last, and my team is 24th. I'm like, well,
Yeah, I saw that. Was that the Bleacher Report one? Because I thought that was bogus. That was a bad one. I mean, I have no problem with the Jets being in the 30s. We looked really bad the other day, and we'll get into that. But with those power rankings, I don't get what Bleacher Report's doing. They're flip flopping all the time. But shocker, nothing's really new with that. So all right, man.
Some bullshit.
First game I want to get into, like I just said, we're going to talk about it. Jets and the Bills.
Jets and the Bills.
I know you want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah, as a Jet fan,
I really know what you want to hear.
Let me hear what you thought of Week 1 now. I was in the gym and I was actually watching because that was the first game, right? That was the first game on all day.
Yeah, it was it was that with the Patriots game and stuff, all the 1 o'clocks.
Being in Jersey, that was on, and in the gym when I was working out, and I just see 7-0 Bills, 14-0 Bills. I'm like, oh, here we go. Seaga's losing it right now. So let me know what went wrong.
All right, so for this game, I want to clarify that I picked the Jets to cover the 6.5 spread because we always keep it close with the Bills. 2020, not this year. That was not happening. The final score, for those who don't know, was Buffalo 27, Jets 17, but that is a deceptive score. The game was not that close at all.
It felt like a 35-7 game.
Yeah, it felt like a blowout. And it was because the Jets' offense is inept again. It is. And it's Adam Gase's fault, 100%. I was on the phone with a friend of the show, Gary Brown, during the time we were talking about some shit before the game. And on our first drive, 3rd down, we ran a screen pass. And that was my issue the whole year last year. I don't know why Adam Gase thinks wide receiver screens are going to work on a 3rd and long play, because in that case, you might as well just mail it in. Just mail it in. So I don't know what's up with Adam Gase. He's the one that has to go, clearly. I know people are killing Darnold right now for his performance, but the receivers aren't getting any separation. Brashad Perriman had a tough task going up against Tre'Davious White Week 1. Jamison Crowder's numbers are deceiving because he had one big 69-yard touchdown. Lev got hurt yet again, so we don't know how long he's going to be out. And Chris Hogan's our 3rd receiver, who had 1 reception for 0 yards and 4 targets. So it comes down to that offense, and it was ridiculous. The defense didn't look bad. It didn't look bad. Marcus May slid into that Jamal Adams role very well. And the only issue was we missed a lot of tackles, but you could expect that with no preseason. And Josh Allen had a field day. He was getting out of the pocket. We couldn't contain him in there. And he was making some good throws. I'm not going to sit here and say that Josh Allen's this great quarterback and he was doing this, but he showed up. He showed that he's still building off last year, and it wasn't a fluke. So, yeah, man, I'm disappointed, and I think Adam Gase has got to go. My prediction is the Jets go 6-10 this year, and it's another lost season. And hopefully we get rid of Adam Gase by midseason, if not the end of the season.
Yeah, all I've been seeing since Sunday is that all rumors about Adam Gase already after Week 1, and I'm like,
100%.
It's deserving, though. It's deserving.
It is because
he's supposed to be a guy who comes in and changes the offense, makes it look more dynamic, and it's the total opposite.
Exactly. because you're an offense. We hired an offensive-minded coach for the first time in a minute. We've had Rex Ryan, Todd Bowles, even Tony Sperano when he was an interim, and guys like that. We've really gone defense most of the time, and we finally went with an offensive guy to build Darnold, and his issues are issues that should have been fixed by now. I don't blame him, though. He threw a really bad interception, but when you start off with 4 straight 3-and-outs, and the guy makes a horrible throw across the middle for to try to get the first down, I don't blame you because we need a play. We need a big play. So taking a chance right there isn't the end of the world. I mean, what do you end up having?
Get a lot of the blame because he's a QB, but I think Sam is a good young quarterback, and the problem is not Sam.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know where we go from here. Buffalo looked good, so I'm impressed.
Buffalo,
but
on paper, what is the favorite to win that division this year?
On paper, 100%. I think New England might give them some comp though after that.
Right.
But this Jets defense, I mean, Marcus May, 10 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and 2 QB hits, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 sacks, 8 TFLs, 4 QB hits, 6 pass deflections, but 404 total yards given up. That just means I was on the field the whole game. My offense didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, I think that sums it up for them because
it's disappointing week 1 for the Jets, but no more disappointing than your boys Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, the Indianapolis Colts. Let's hear what you got to say about that. A loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27-20.
27-20. And everyone knows the Jacksonville Jaguars are tanking, getting rid of Fournette, getting rid of everybody. They're trying to lose games. And I'm not watching the game, but I'm tracking it on my phone, like play by play, because I wasn't home. And I'm seeing, Colts go up early 7-0. I'm like, all right, this is smooth. And I have them in a parlay at -8. I'm like, they'll win by 2 touchdowns. And I'm following through the day, and I'm like, okay, we're still all right. We're still all right. All of a sudden, it's the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game, and I'm like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Next thing I know, Jacksonville touchdown. It's 27-20, and then we get the ball back. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do. And nothing. And this is what I told you about Phillip Rivers. 36 for 46, 363, a touchdown and 2 picks. Sounds a lot like the San Diego Charger, Phillip Rivers, that I was not interested in and didn't want any part of.
Mm-hmm.
No, listen, we know Rivers is going to throw for a lot of yards, but the 2 picks killed us, but we need more than 1 touchdown. And then we have 3 good running backs, right? Or had. We have 3 running backs. Our starter, Marlon Mack, who's a solid back.
Then we have out for the season now, torn Achilles.
The torn Achilles, week 1. Great. Then we have Nyheim Hines, who's underrated, 2nd year, good back. And then we just drafted Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, we got a staple of backs, right? But Indianapolis Colts, when's the last time we had a good running game? I couldn't even tell you. Last time we had a good running game?
I can't name ever.
Edgerrin James or whatever his name was.
Edgerrin James. Yeah. You've had some backs. It's just it never seems to produce.
We reached for we traded a 1st-round pick for freaking Trent Richardson.
That's right. I forgot about that.
We've never had a good run game, and now we have a good O-line, so it doesn't make any sense. But so you got Nyheim Hines, 7 carries, 28 yards. Marlon Mack, who got hurt, so this is 4 rushes, 26 yards. And then the rookie, 9 rushes, 22 yards. That's just not getting it done on the ground. Receiver, I thought Paris Campbell showed what he can really do.
He did have a really good game. He did have a really good
wide receiver from Ohio State, a speedster, 6 receptions for 71 yards. He had a nice game. T.Y., 4 catches for 53. Jack Doyle at tight end with 3 catches for 49 yards. But this is kind of the team I expect to be this year. People were like, hey, they got Phil Rivers and they have pieces. They could be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could make the playoffs, but we're never going to win a playoff game with this team. And I'm just not really excited about
this team anymore.
I'd almost rather us be like, let's just suck again. Let's just suck for a year.
I love that idea because I think Trevor Lawrence would come in and make you guys a real contender.
Exactly. I think it's somebody Trevor Lawrence or Ohio State QB Fields or whatever.
Mhm.
Somebody dynamic. That'd be great. But instead, we're going to rock out Phillip Rivers, and we're going to have an okay record. We're not going to be one of the worst teams in the league. But then we're going to be in the middle of the pack in the draft, not get a QB that we want. And it'll be the same thing next year with maybe Jacoby or we'll sign another free agent QB. So I'm just not excited for this season right now. But
I think both of our teams are going to be in a similar situation. I think we're both going to be around that set. I don't think the Jets are going to go 7-9. I think you guys can.
Yeah, I can see the Colts going 7-9.
But I think the Jets are going to be in that 4-12 to 6-10 range. One of the bottom teams, but not bad enough to be a bottom team. But like you said, I had my number one question from this game was, why is Phillip Rivers throwing for 46 passes in 2020? And it's not like Phillip had a bad game. You read his stats. It's that 78% of his passes completed, 363 yards. Like you said, it's not a bad game. But all his mistakes that are made are when you ask him to throw the ball 10-plus yards down the field.
Yeah.
Keep letting him dink and dunk it. Don't ask him to do that.
I know. But it's also hard to keep doing that when you have no rushing attack at all.
Right. And your receivers caught a lot of balls, too. I mean, Nyheim Hines, 8 catches, 45 yards, a TD.
We have a good wide receivers. Not great. We're good.
Right. T.Y. Hilton made 2 key drops, though. He did have 2 key drops. I thought that was an issue. But I wouldn't – all right. I think you guys are a 7-9, 6-10 team.
See, that's the worst. I think that's the worst spot to be.
It is. Either
be a Cardinal or be a playoff contender. So I could be like, okay, we're just tanking this year. We're going to get a pick. I'm cool if we lose.
Right.
We got this kind of team. It's like, oh, can we win 10 games? Can we make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
And then can we talk about this? Gardner Minshew, right? Colts defense.
19 for 20. 19 for 20.
Gardner
3 TDs.
For 20. Now, I know 173 yards, so he's not, he's not throwing it down the field.
It's on your secondary. They let their receiving core really handle your defense because your front seven wasn't bad. Your front seven wasn't bad. They weren't great, but
I mean, look how many different people had a catch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They almost had, I think 10 guys had a catch for the Jaguars.
That's
9
insane.
or 10 different guys.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Star of Jacksonville though, rookie CJ Henderson, 5 tackles, 3 pass deflections, a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Great game from him. He kind of locked T.Y. Hilton a little bit.
And James Robinson, their back, wasn't bad either.
Very good.
60 yards.
Didn't know who he was. Very good from the show.
Well, hand me the rock.
Right. We have Tom waiting to enter the meeting right now. We're gonna allow Tom in. Get our first guest on Brofluent here today.
Get him on here. He's a Jet fan, so it should be interesting.
He's a Jets fan? All right, this is going to be great.
Where is he at?
Yo.
Hey.
Yo.
What's going on, man? Welcome to Brofluent, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, kid?
Where you at right now?
I'm at my apartment. I'm at my home.
Oh, all right. If you don't know, Eric's a Jet fan. He was just giving us
just talked about the Jet. Oh, he's wearing the gear. As a fellow...
Yeah, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
I got you. As a fellow Jet fan, man, I got to know. Welcome you on to the show. So what's the opinion? What's the opinion of the game, week 1?
But they looked horrible. I mean, they looked bad. Like Le'Veon Bell going down with an injury early. That's tough. That hurts. That hurts the offense. He's
big time.
He's arguably the most talented player on the offensive side. So not having him hurts. But I mean, play call was awful. But they don't move the ball on offense.
Adam Gase is atrocious.
He's atrocious coach. I mean, I've been saying since the jump. I've known Tom very well, and Tom and I talk sports all the time. I said from the jump we should have went after McCarthy. I don't know why we didn't go get Mike McCarthy 2 years ago instead of letting him sit out the year and then having him go to the Cowboys, which is going to hurt because they might have lost, but that's going to be the most explosive offense in football. A lot of people got to see that, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough being a Jet fan, you know that. You're a Jet fan.
Yeah, 100%.
It's tough being a Jet fan.
Jet stands for just end the suffering. We wanted to be over already. But since you said that, now this is a good question. I feel off the top of my head. With Gase gone, I 100% agree. He's got to go at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Who do you think the Jets' next head coach should be?
Well, looking at the trends in the NFL, what looks well right now, I'm thinking one of these young coaches. Like you look what like Cliff Kingsbury's doing in Arizona with Murray. I mean, like they had a rough relation, but like this, like they look great against the 49ers.
They did look good. They look very good.
I mean, Hopkins obviously helps. Like 14 for 150, that's tough. Like you're not stopping that in football. I don't care if you're Jalen Ramsey or like some scrub from the practice squad. 14 for 150 is tough against any team, especially the 49ers.
Right.
But I mean, I like Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma.
I like that pick. I like that pick.
That would be cool.
I'm surprised he's not in the league now. I thought he was going to get in this year. But the guys that got jobs deserve jobs. I don't know. I would like to see who's in and who's out. I guess at the end of the season.
By the end of the season, it is week 1, so it is a very early combo.
I mean, like I'm not a big Gaze guy. I wasn't, but like he won 7 of the last 9 last year. Like that's great. Like him and Darnold look good together. Sometimes they're both. So I mean, I don't know.
I think with COVID too, you might see some college coaches leave college.
Absolutely, yeah. Like nobody's playing
in the NFL. My team might not be playing in college, so
absolutely.
He's out in the NFL.
Right. I like the Lincoln Riley pick though. I do like that. I think knowing our team though, I think you even consider giving Greg Williams the promotion as head coach, letting him go.
He was good under Bowles, and the fact that he was there, like that defense is like last year, like everyone got hurt and defense stood strong. So I mean, he
defense wasn't even bad week 1. Defense wasn't awful. It just missed tackles.
That's a good offense. Like a lot of people like talk bad on Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen.
Very good.
I don't want to face him 2 times a year for the next probably 5-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think like because he does it both. He throws it well and then he can run it for a big guy. So right. I think he's a good quarterback. So and they got Diggs.
I was saying that the Bills are probably a favorite in that division. So
absolutely. Yeah. Any Jet fan like obviously like Jets Bills like it's New York, but it's not really a rivalry. But every AFC guy's got to think like Bills are the best team in that division. I mean, but I'm not counting out Bill Belichick and Cam Newton's Cam Newton.
Right. Agreed.
Agreed.
All right. So now we got all the Jets. The Jets talk's out the way. We're done. I'm done talking about them today.
I put on the shirt for you guys, but like when I was putting, I was like, dude, why am I wearing this right now?
It's tough, bro.
I understand it, man. I understand it. But so now we got the Jets out the way. We got the Colts and their woes out the way. Another big game. Since we're gonna stay in division. We mentioned New England. Cam Newton's debut. New England won 21-11. Either of the Toms, take it away. Who's got the Cam Newton take? What do we see?
I think Cam looked good. It's the game I expected too. I thought it was going to be low scoring. Patriots always, even with Brady in the past, always are slower in the beginning of the year. Start off slow and they pick up hot late. But I mean, Cam Newton's stats: 15 for 19 for 155. He didn't throw for any touchdowns, but we know he ran for a couple. And that's what Cam does. He's multi-dimensional. They look at the receivers. Edelman, steady, 5 catches for 57. N'Keal Harry, who could be a big part of their wide receiving core this year, 5 catches for 40 yards.
Right.
I mean, again, they played the Dolphins, so let's not act like –
yeah, but also like the Feds made a lot of moves in the offseason. Like they got a couple key defenders.
Where wasn't Miami your preseason pick to win the division?
Miami is my preseason pick to win the division, but I said Tua's got to start before halfway through the year.
Okay. There's an asterisk next to it.
That's the clause with it. Because look at Fitzpatrick, 20 for 30 for $190 and 3 picks.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's an old man. And you know what? Like for what he is, like he does it well, but he's not I agree. By week 6, week 8, Tua has got to be ready.
And everything I'm hearing about Tua is he looks great. The hip looks good. He's ridiculously accurate throwing the ball. So obviously he's a rookie. He's not going to come in and straight up dominate. But I think as soon as you can, if you're Miami, enough with this sitting crap. Throw Tua in, let him get some reps, and y'all could be good maybe next year. And also, Mike Gesicki, you're on my fantasy team. And 3 catches for 30 yards ain't going to do it for me. I need you to do a little more. Now, I didn't like him.
I know.
I know he's not a great pick at tight end, but you got to do something for me, man. And he's a Jersey guy, so get him.
He's one of them Southern boys, I was going to say.
No, Jesus. Just do something for me, man.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I agree 100%.
After week 1, Bills or Patriots favorites in that division?
Bills,
100%.
Yeah, I say Bills.
I said the Bills from the jump, so.
The Patriots have an outside shot, though. I want to see them play a real team. Like we all said about Miami. While they added some pieces, they're still very young.
Absolutely.
Fitzpatrick's talented, but he is a placeholder. Tua might spark them, but you never really know with them. So we don't really know what Miami is. So in that case, I want to see the Patriots play a real team. They have the hardest schedule in the NFL this year, so we'll find out. But so far, so good for them.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you guys, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Cam plays well, and when I mean well, like they're 500, like playing for playoffs, even makes playoffs. Do you extend Cam an extra year in New England, or do you think he's?
That's tough. That's a good question, T. That's a good question.
Depends on the price tag.
It depends on the price tag. I agree, and what the options are at QB going into next year.
Yeah, I don't.
Good year to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think you probably extend them a year.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't think he'd take that though. I think if he has a good enough year, he's going to be looking at maybe one of those places that are getting maybe Indy. Maybe Indy.
Bring him to Indy.
Watch Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh could make a move.
Watch Big Ben go out. Like this is a sleeper for me. Like I don't want to jump on your toes, but I think the Steelers are going to be a playoff team this year. I think
they looked good last night.
Yeah, and they played well. They got a good D, and I think Big Ben leaves. He retires because like he just I think he wants one more shot at it, and I think Cam goes there.
What about that huge wrap around Ben's arm? That huge wrap around Ben's arm makes me nervous.
I'm like,
makes me very nervous.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
I'm going to be dead. You can't throw the ball no more.
Yeah, he is. He played really good though. He did come back well. So I don't want to give him
I think
too much.
The biggest upset of the day, Washington football team with a 27-17 win over them Eagles.
So I got the unique perspective being down here in South Jersey, and I got family that lives in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania now. So we go over there on Sunday. We're watching the game in the first quarter. They're looking good. They're up 17. Like, oh, it's another Sunday. Like, and then all of a sudden, like they just went away from their play call. Like, if you actually watch the game, like they were rolling out Wentz early, and then after that, they blew it up, and that's when they started to like look. They looked bad. Like, no Sanders, a couple of their offensive linemen were out, but like Wentz got to be better than that. He's got to do better. And listen, you got Jalen Hurts behind him.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't be losing to the Redskins.
I love that, but we got another friend of the show coming in right now.
Get him in.
Jon Entel. Johnny Entel is coming in the building. Where is he? Hey, look who's here. My Sports Radio's finest.
What up, John?
What's going on, boys? How we doing today?
Good, boss.
Doing good, man.
We're just talking about the biggest upset of the week, the Washington football team over the Eagles.
Biggest. Listen, I got to be honest, man. So I worked all day Sunday, right? I didn't get to watch not 1 minute of football. I have a lot of my guys around me going, dude, you see what's going on, this and that. I'm like, guys, I'm in the zone. I'm in a work mode, right? Don't talk to me. Like, Tom, you know what I go through on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
So I'm frantically running back and forth. I take a deep breath. Finally, it's 7:30 before the Cowboys game. And I look at my phone, and the first reaction was, what the?
Yeah.
And that was it. So I call up a buddy of mine, season ticket holder for the Eagles. First thing I said was, how does it feel to lose to a team from the Washington, D.C. area? Like, they don't even have a team name.
Right.
Obviously, he was, distraught. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm on suicide watch right now. But guys, I mean, listen, dude, I think when you guys were on my show last week, we were pretty much all going through the games together. We really didn't know what to expect, right?
Right.
We just sort of went based off of what ESPN's analysts were telling us.
Yeah.
And previous years, So I think that's probably the best part about what we do, talking about sports in general. We really don't know, and that's why any given Sunday ended up being a movie. You just never really know what can happen. They line up, they show up. Who could stay healthy? I think some of the biggest headlines are the injuries, man. So
agreed.
Pretty crazy first week.
Yeah, man.
100%.
And I think a cool story was Ron Rivera at halftime. He's got to get his IV or whatever. and Haskins is in there rallying the troops, and they come out in the second half and they start balling. That's just a cool story to see.
You know, I think we said, for some reason, I have to go back and watch it, but I feel like we collectively said, somebody said something about Washington being bad at one point, and we were saying that Washington wasn't like, we had to give Haskins a chance. Washington's offense wasn't going to be as bad as some people thought. Their defense is always tough, man.
Yeah.
Year in, year out, for whatever it is, they're like gritty. Ron Rivera, he offers that insight of that football insight. He offers a little bit of legitimacy to the football team. He offers that leadership, which is pretty cool. So we never really know, man. So it was definitely good. I'm a Cowboy fan. We're not going to talk about the Cowboys today. Because you'll probably see me stab myself a few times on camera. But listen, anytime you see that kind of story, we talk about the James Conner story, coming back from cancer. We all kind of rally around that type of guy. You see a guy where like a relative passes away. We see it frequently in sports. Unfortunately, we tend to rally around that type of dude. So Ron Rivera, he's doing chemo treatments in the locker room. And even as a Cowboy fan, you're like, man, I want to see that guy succeed, Right. So it's pretty dope story for sure. My question is this to you guys. I see we have Tom, don't know you. Welcome, man. Pleasure to meet you. My question is this. Is Lamar Jackson really this good?
Tom, take that away. That's your boy.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's this good. Now, he's not better than Mahomes. Him and Russell Wilson are a conversation, but I think clearly he's a top 4 quarterback. Him and Aaron Rodgers are there too. But look at his numbers this past week. 20 for 25, 275, and 3 TDs. I mean, if you got him in fantasy, you're living it up. Also, 7 carries for 45 yards. And it looks just like another – I see a lot of Baker Mayfield slander after week 1, but –
Well-deserved slander. Well-deserved slander.
More about the Ravens, though, than it is the Browns.
Oh, I got to disagree on that one. To address your question, John, I do think Lamar is this good. I do think that offense is built around him and everything's good. And I want to apologize for questioning J.K. Dobbins on the show last time because those 2 TDs were good TDs. Good fantasy pick for you. I like it. But
Darius Slayton in the 9th round. Hello.
That was a good pick.
102 yards, 2 TDs. Don't say I told you so.
Hey, you had some good picks, man. I love it. Mark Andrews slipped. Mark Andrews had 2 TDs, 58 yards.
Nobody wanted to pick him, and he wound up having a good week 1.
Snagged him. But, Tom, I got to disagree, man. I think that game was all about how bad the Browns are. Baker Mayfield, 53.8% completion percentage. A tipped pick. I'll give him a pass on the pick. But like Stephen A. Smith and all the guys coming out saying, you have more commercials than wins. You have more commercials than touchdowns. I'm tired of seeing all this talk and not seeing any production. I don't blame guys like Jarvis Landry and Odell. I mean, I blame Odell a little bit. He had 2 key drops. He did have 2 key drops. But 10 targets, 3 receptions, 22 yards. So let's say Odell dropped those 2. You missed them 5 times. You missed them.
We're still talking about Cleveland Brown football. You know what I mean? Like, just because they get a couple guys, like, it's still Cleveland Brown football.
They're still the Browns. They cut their kicker.
Hold on. I have so Tom, you definitely. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of pushback here, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
So we say Cleveland Brown football right now. Now there's a reason why we say that, because traditionally the Cleveland Browns not only suck, but they find a way to suck, right? So
Agreed.
So normally, here's the thing though. the Cleveland Browns under new GM, under new leadership, under new regime, the only thing they tend to get wrong is their head coach. But everything else outside of that, when it comes to their cornerback in Ward, they have great running backs, great wide receivers. They started with Myles Garrett. They started to really build a nice team, right? Like a core group of guys that any one of us would want on our football teams. In theory. So now I say this is where it actually falls on the Baker Mayfield and not so much Browns football. It's more Baker Mayfield because here it is. This is why I kill Dak Prescott on a daily basis. When you're a QB that has Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, and Njoku. Now, Njoku got hurt, but let's move past it. They drafted another tight end. Odell Beckham, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward.
Austin Hooper just went there.
Austin Hooper. Now I ask you, I don't know who you like, but we'll get into that in a second. But if your team had those weapons and your QB could not produce, you would be starting a protest for this on Facebook, right? There's protests for everything else. We might as well start it for this. You would start a protest on Facebook ASAP yesterday. You'd be like, guys, I'm out. Now, this is why I say about Dak Prescott. You have Michael Gallup. You have Amari Cooper. You have Zeke Elliott. You have CeeDee Lamb. You have Schwartz as your tight end. It should have been Swain. He got hurt, but it doesn't matter. The kid Schwartz looked dynamic. Your defense is now – your defensive line is DeMarcus Lawrence, Aldon Smith, Dontarius Poe, Griffin. Your linebackers are Jalen Smith. Now, Leighton Vander Esch is a broken collarbone, but still Sean Lee.
Yeah.
And your front seven looks like an NFC Pro Bowl team.
Absolutely.
And you cannot beat a Rams team and you score 17 points and everyone is saying the play calls for Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott, bro. I don't care about the play calls. When you want to be paid, when you want to be elite, when you want to run your mouth talking about you're the man, you better put up the man stats. Period. And that's why Russell Wilson, that's why Aaron Rodgers, that's why Lamar Jackson, that's why Patrick Mahomes continue to be those guys. And guys, please don't sleep on another one of my picks, Kyler Murray, who yet again separated himself and not only throwing, but running. 13 carries, a tutty, 90-some-odd yards. I got to look at the actual thing because when I saw stats, I was like, yo, this is my guy right here. 91 yards, 13 carries, a TD, 230 yards, a TD. Guys.
Yeah, he's filling it up.
And if you don't mind me adding on, I read on Twitter earlier today about him. They were saying that 12 of his 13 rushes, he either got out of bounds or was able to slide. So, like, he's learning the game. He's starting to realize his IQ is – they're going to be sweet. Like, they're going to be sweet.
Not to switch the conversation, but we did kind of gloss over the Cowboys game, and I can't let John do that.
John,
so I got to hear the full synopsis of it, and are we blaming Dak Prescott for that game?
John, listen, Eric went through the Jets. I went through the Colts. The other Tom is also a Jet fan, so we're all feeling it after week one.
It's a rough game, you know?
So Tom knows I am not like a Cowboys are great. I'm probably the opposite end of the spectrum. Right. I watch the sport in general, and I'm able to digest it in a way that most fans can't, just because I have a passion for the game itself. I'm a little bit older, so for me, I got to see the real glory years of when Jimmy Johnson made the traded away Herschel Walker and drafted drafted his guys, got pieces around Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, all these guys, right? So I got to see the glory years of Cowboys football, and I've gotten to see 25 years of trash. So, for me as a Cowboys fan, we brought in a new head coach I like the hire. I would have liked to have seen us go in a little bit of a different direction. Would have liked to have seen something gritty, like a new hire, like a Mike Tomlin-esque. We see, you know, the guy in for the Dolphins, Flores. We see, what's his name in for the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Great new hire in Anthony Lynn, gritty. The players play for him. I would have liked to have seen us go in that direction. But also, the Cowboys' defense in the first half looked as if they had no idea how to stop the run. They were getting absolutely just crushed on our defensive rush was pathetic. The four of us probably could have had the same production, right?
Mhm.
So that was a little bit disappointing to me. I enjoyed watching Zeke come out strong. 96 yards, 2 TDs. I enjoyed that. Caught the ball in the backfield nice. Gallup looked like he was catching the ball. Amari Cooper looked like he was engaged, wanted to be in there.
The rookie had a
CeeDee
nice
Lamb,
day. Yeah, the rookie.
CeeDee Lamb looked like he was as billed.
Mhm.
You know, had some nice moves. This one falls on the defense for me more so than it did on Dak Prescott. I watched the first few throws behind the receivers. They had to really go up. Dak Prescott tends to still run backwards and throw off his foot, off his back leg. For some reason, I'm not exactly sure why he does that. It's like run. Oh, shit, I got a guy open. I'll throw it. You know, he holds the ball too long for what we have. We had a new starting right tackle in, and you held the ball too long when you got a fresh, undrafted tackle.
Steele. He was very good. He was very good the other night. Let up a big one, though. He did let up a big one against Leonard Floyd at the end of that game.
You got to understand, though, when you have Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald in front of you, the key for any successful quarterback is to get the ball out under 3 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Short
like
passing
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, if you go back and look at what's made them successful in their career, it's getting the ball out very, very quickly. To go along with their dynamic arms, smart decision-making, intelligent football. Dak Prescott is not on that level, so he needs to be extra sharp. Dak Prescott, to me, falls in that 20 to 15 range of quarterbacks. So it's tough for me to grade Cowboys football when we really don't have that next level QB. I'll always probably put more blame on him than other people do. Overall, it was a winnable game. They went forward on 4th and 3 when they could have kicked the field goal from the 15-yard line. By the way, statistically speaking, it was a smart play. And I actually like it a lot.
You like that call?
I do. I love the call, not like it. I'll tell you why. Our kicking game has been subpar for 3 years. And Zerline, even though we think of him as the leg, he still has not been that kicker. That's why the Rams let him go. He missed a field goal early in the game. Granted, 53 yards, but guys, we're on turf. We're in a dome. No crowd noise, no pressure. This is like whatever you got to make.
Just make it, dude. It's a field goal.
Just make it. There's no added distractions. The ball's getting hyped. You're kicking it. You're not looking at people, swinging things in front of you, bro. You're just kicking a ball. You miss it, you're out. Like, get this joker out of here. So for me, 4th and 3, you have CD, Zeke, offensive line, Schwartz, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and a running QB. You can't get 3 yards, bro. Who does that fall on, guys?
See,
the quarterback.
I'm not gonna. I disagree because I don't think it was a great call because of something me and Tom heard throughout our careers in college. 100% from our coach. Time and score. It's the 4th quarter. While it is 4th and 3, any other time, I agree with you. You have them pinned up against. You're close to the 10-yard line. They're gonna have a long field to come back and score on. I trust my defense to stop them, but my thing is, when it comes down to it, we're down 3 with 11 seconds left on the clock. So if I tied this game It's a clean slate, and we just got to beat them this next 11 minutes. So I didn't like the call from McCarthy. While I agree with all the weapons you have, why not spread them out and hand it to Zeke if that's the case? Because throwing it to the rookie on a crossing pattern where he falls just a yard short, you're kind of in a position where I can't even blame Dak because they're going to cover the end zone and they're going to play the sticks and let you go underneath like that. So I disagree with it. And when it comes to Zerline, you're right. He was let go in LA for a reason, but when you pay a kicker like that and it comes to a 30-something yard chip shot, wow, we had a lot of kicking issues over the NFL this past week. A lot of kicking issues. A lot of kickers missed big ones. But I just think you should have tied the game there and then saw what happened after that. Because even if he missed it, I can't blame McCarthy for putting him out there. It's 4th down. I need to tie the game. If he misses it, it's on him. He gets cut, and we bring a new kicker in.
You know what, dude? You're so listen. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong viewpoint on it. So I agree, right? It's not a bad viewpoint. For me, here it is. You march down the entire field. Your team got into a position where you had the Rams on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
I run Zeke 4 downs in a row. There's no way in my mind that you're telling me 4 opportunities, Zeke's not getting 10 yards, right? Like so I have to question the play calling, but also if I'm a new coach, McCarthy, he's a pass friendly coach. We saw it in Green Bay under Rodgers. He never really had an actual prominent running offense. Always throwing. With that being said, McCarthy's looking at his guy. Dak wants $40 million a year, bro. Okay? He wants $40 million a year. And this is why I always attack Dak Prescott. You want $40 million a year, my man. Earn your $40 million. You need 3 yards. Like the great Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. Bro, you go out there and you say to your quarterback, if I'm on that headset, bro, I let everybody hear it. I say, yo, Prescott, 3 yards, $40 million. Figure it out.
All right,
That's what
so
I would say in the headset. Figure it out.
Okay.
Me, bro, I'm not trying to rub his little tush. Oh, if you don't make it, they'll call. Nah, bro, shut up. You want $40 million, Dak? Get the hell out there and get 3 yards. By the way, I knew he wasn't going to get 3 yards. You want to know why? Tom, please tell him why I know he wasn't getting 3 yards. I didn't have to answer this question. Tom, finish my sentence. Why did I know Dak wasn't getting 3 yards? Go ahead, Tom.
Because he's trash.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
See, now
Tom Terrific to the rescue. You see?
See, now, well, look, I agree. When it comes to guys wanting to get paid, especially a price tag like that, they have to perform. And I don't think he's deserving of $40 million. I think he's asking for too much. And I agree with you. He's in that tier of top 15 QB, not really in the top 10 like that. But if we're going to talk about that game, Dak Prescott made a big throw that was called for offensive pass interference that would have given you the tying field goal in a very close spot. And he did make that play. And I disagree with the call, which I'm sure you do too, about Michael Gallup extending his arm. I think you got to let guys fight for the ball. But if they don't make that call, we're having a totally different conversation about Dak Prescott right now, saying he showed up, he made a big throw, he put it right in his chest, he put it right in his basket, over the top. So I don't want to give him that.
Can I ask you something? He threw that throw against arguably one of the best cornerbacks in all football, the highest paid cornerback now, right?
Agreed.
The reason why it fell where it did was because there was the separation that was created. If there wasn't separation, does Ramsey bat that ball down or intercept it? By the way, there's a lot of what ifs. If I played the lottery tonight, I could win, brother.
That's
so
a
all
big
I'm
what
saying
if.
to you is he made a tough throw in the circumstances that we want a quarterback to make.
Very clutch throw.
But does the throw get to him with Ramsey covering him without the separation? Because, by the way, Ramsey, you never see separation like that against a physical cornerback like Ramsey.
He's a physical corner, and he made a big play for Amari earlier in the game at the first down marker when he popped Amari. But we don't know Jalen Ramsey for his speed. When he gets beat, he does tend to get beat long if it happens.
I don't know. I'm not, for me, all I know is I looked at it. I think they should let the boys be boys and play it out on the field.
I agree. I agree.
And this, listen, defensive backs, the wide receiver, makes a move, cuts in, tries to get upfield. The first thing you see is a defensive back kind of hold the jersey a little bit to keep the receiver close to him, and then they run together. There's always a lot of things that they could really call. Is it really within the first 5 yards? Do they give him a couple of yards after where the defenseman can kind of push off? There's a lot of little BS going on there. So, yeah, I agree with you. All I'm saying is for me, we talked about one throw during an entire game when, by the way, there was numerous throws. I don't know if you got to see the game, if you watched it, if you broke it down.
I watched that one live. I did get to watch
there
that one live.
There was many throws where I looked and said, Dak, are you effing kidding me right now, bro?
He sailed one at the end of the game. He did sail some. I do agree.
How about the one where Donald was in his face? He had an opportunity to dump it off to Pollard, and he literally threw it right, before him, and Pollard had 15 yards in front of him because he got
and he threw one at Amari's legs. But I think that's him just being a top 15 QB and not being that top 10 guy. Where under pressure you're not gonna make those throws, and that's just being Dak Prescott. I can't ask you to be perfect all the time. But I agree, for $40 million, you do have to be perfect all the time.
Bro, I grade Dak on two things. I grade Dak on his asking price, and I grade Dak on his ability to lead America's team. So here's the thing for me. I'm a Dallas Cowboy I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Roger Staubach, White, Aikman, Romo. Okay? Here are the facts. The facts are, compared to every other quarterback that we've seen come through here, you ain't shit. And by the way, I even watched Quincy Carter go 13-3. Okay? So that's
an NFL street kind of name.
Thank you. So all I'm saying is, for me, if Drew Hutchinson can come in and lead us to a victory, and Quincy Carter can go 13-3, and Tony Romo's on the Ring of Honor for quarterbacks, and he goes up against Peyton Manning and throws 5 touchdowns in a game, bro, Dak Prescott wants $40 million. You're leading America's team. It's time to put up or shut up. And those few throws, bro, not one that we're saying, well, we put it on, we put it in the breadbasket, but Michael Gallup screwed him. Not one, bro. One throw does not ruin a game. It's many throughout the game that can make a difference. I'm just saying, dude, you have to give the guy all the bad. And I even say about I'll throw Sam Darnold in there. Right? We have Jets guys here.
Yep.
I'll throw Sam Darnold in there. When I watch little things, I'm actually a USC fan in football. So I got to see Sam Darnold. I got to see Carson Palmer. I got to see Matt Leinart. I got to see these guys, right?
Right.
And so I root for Sam Darnold as a fan because I want to see him successful. I look at Sam Darnold and I see a few intangibles. I see a guy who can make any throw on the football field off his back foot because that's how strong his arm is. Yeah. I see him not afraid to make a throw because he trusts his arm too much. I see a guy who will stand up and take the blame for things and say something like, I got to do better. Right? Sam Darnold is not yet developed and savvy enough as a quarterback to make certain decisions on the field, and I blame that on head coaching like Gase, who's atrocious, okay?
Agreed.
So I can't blame Sam Darnold where Sam Darnold's not asking for $40 million. He's not on a premier team like Dak Prescott is. He's not in the media all the time, nor does he want to be. He does not have anywhere near the weapons or the offensive line that Dak Prescott does.
Agreed.
So for the fact is I actually look at a Sam Darnold and say to myself, 3 years in, had mono last year, went really 6-2 at the end of the year, lot of progression. Where am I really looking? The franchise never surrounds him with any weapons. Jamison Crowder's his best weapon. They let Robbie Anderson go for nothing. And Robbie Anderson is definitely a difference maker. Le'Veon Bell is a shell of himself. What do we really do?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to compare it to that. And I would say Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott in my eyes. And by the way, everything I look at, he went head-to-head against Dak Prescott last year off his first week coming back from mono.
We were both
Dallas
at that
Cowboys
game.
defense, top 5. Dak Prescott threw no TDs. We were at the game. Sam Darnold threw a dime at the end of the first half for a touchdown, a bomb.
He did.
I consistently see Dak Prescott outplayed by lesser quarterbacks, and Dak Prescott wants $40 million. So I always push back on people. Why are we making excuses for Dak Prescott time and time again? I know the reason why we make excuses for Dak Prescott. I know the reason why. So, I mean, is it politically correct for me to say it out loud? You want me to say it out loud, or should I keep that to myself?
You say how you feel, John.
Yeah, you can say how you feel, man.
The reason why is because right now we tiptoe around the black quarterback issue.
Mhm.
And everybody knows it. And Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, everybody killed him, didn't think he was going to be a quarterback because black QBs can't be quarterbacks. They're wide receivers. They're just athletes. Lamar Jackson's proving everybody different. Nobody wanted to give him a chance. They made him a wide receiver. Good for him. Patrick Mahomes comes in. No way. Not going to happen. He's a QB. Russell Wilson comes in, does his thing, right? Still never really given the full credit he deserves. But Dak Prescott, but by the way, these guys are never judged very tough.
Mm-hmm.
We never see them criticized very tough when they play QB. Why?
See, I do have to challenge you a little bit on that one, because I do feel like we have questioned guys, because Dak is one. In my opinion, I feel like Dak is still one of the most criticized quarterbacks in the NFL for the team he's on, because, like you said, he's the captain of America's team. And
I don't think he's criticized enough.
I think
He's
no,
not.
I think he's crucified a lot, and it's for a guy
Not.
that's top five in passing yards. And look, I don't think he deserves $40 million. I don't. I think he's in the realm of Jimmy G's and Kirk Cousins and guys like that. But I disagree and feel like guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, like I just mentioned, and other white quarterbacks don't get criticized for some things. Like the way Kirk Cousins is making the money that he is making to do what he does. I mean, well, look, I get you have a point. I get you have a point with some guys not really getting criticized, but people criticized when Deshaun Watson got taken where he was and he performed. People criticized what Russell Wilson was going to do coming out of the preseason when he was a rookie. And what did he do? Lamar Jackson, people told him to switch positions, turns into an MVP. Pat Mahomes wasn't supposed to take over for Alex Smith. So I don't really want to say that that's the reason, because this is a guy that gets a lot of criticism because of where he is. And if he was in a different franchise, like if he was with the Jets, it wouldn't be the same criticism. And you're going to have a guy, and look, you can have your prerogative on Sam Darnold and Dak Prescott, because Sam's young, and him in Dallas would be a very good opportunity for Dallas. I'm sure you would take that trade 9 times out of 10, and I don't know if I would. But at the end of the day, when I look at it, guys in big markets get more criticism, and I don't think it's going to come down to a race thing for guys like that, because we have criticized guys like that, and Dak's the prime example for me. And I also want to get both Toms more involved here when we talk about stuff like that. So
I want to jump in real quick for my Dallas Cowboy fan. Is there a chance that Andy Dalton becomes the starting quarterback?
Oh, he loves Dalton.
I'd give my kidney up right now to have him as a starter. It's not close. Listen, the fact is, dude, is you're out of your mind to say that guys like last year, bro. Not only did a guy like Kirk Cousins get criticized, not only did he, Stephon Diggs came out in the news and pretty much gave up on him. His other teammates came out and were like, Kirk Cousins, he's not throwing us the ball.
But the
He's
franchise
scared.
paid him. That's
Bro,
my point.
But
He got an extension,
they
so if
paid
the
him-
franchise shows
They
confidence
paid
in
$25
him
million. They paid him $25 million.
a year.
25 mil. Bro,
Jared Goff getting a contract. I know you're not a big
Jared
Carson
Goff
Wentz
got
guy. That's a guy
$38
getting
million a year.
And is Jared Goff that much better than Dak Prescott? Because even in
But
the
they-
game, I didn't even see that.
Have you seen Jared Goff's arm?
Played in the Super Bowl.
Are you
Playing in the
wild?
Super. Trent Dilfer played in the Super Bowl and won one. I don't want to hear that
Oh,
one.
come on,
I'm
bro.
just saying,
You're
he played the
crazy,
Super
bro.
Bowl.
First of all,
I
don't
think-
even know
I
if
think
you were
there's-
alive. I don't even know if you were alive to watch Trent Dilfer in that Super Bowl. So first of all, dude,
I
hold
was
on a second.
alive. I wasn't really old enough to
Stop.
know what's going
You were
on, but
just,
I was
you were
alive.
just, you were just a twinkle. You were a twinkle in your dad's eye. Listen, let me tell you something, man. First of all, Trent Dilfer played on the greatest defensive
Defense.
team
Yeah.
in the history. That the Ravens gave up 6.6 points.
It's a game,
A
right?
game.
Something like that.
6.6 points a game.
I agree.
Trent Dilfer, just because he showed up. But by the way, he had 17. If I'm not mistaken, look at the stats. I think he was 17 for 31. Okay, and he still threw for a TD to no-namers in that game. They put up 31 points. Don't tell me that Trent Dilfer did nothing for that team in the Super Bowl, because I'll tell you right now, dude, he did. Brad Johnson also won a Super Bowl. The Bucs were dynamic.
We can talk
that
about
year.
Rex Grossman in a Super Bowl then and losing one.
But
If we want to
I
talk
was
about
thinking-
Jared
No,
Goff.
Jared Goff's
All
arm
right,
is
hold
like,
on. 'Cause
come here.
I'm the one that
No.
made the point. What I was trying to say is that, like, think about who the Rams had to play to get there. They had to play a couple teams, and that's the cutest baby I've ever seen in my life. Totally just distracted me like that. But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you gotta. I see. For me, I give Dak. I think Dak's a good quarterback. I'm hearing a lot of slander. Like, I would put him top 10. I don't think
But-
he's top 5 or top
Not a
8.
chance.
But I'd say
I
9.
would- You ready,
close to
Tom?
I would
20
think
when
he
he's
looked
10.
good.
Tom,
He looked good
ready?
against Green.
Wait,
ready-
John.
ready for it? Not,
John,
not,
let's go
not
through our
Tom D.
QBs. Let's go through our
Not Tom
QBs.
D, the other Tom. Ready for it, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna run down this list for you,
Please.
and you tell me who you would take
Mhm.
over if you would take him over Dak. You ready?
Yeah.
Jackson, Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
No, okay.
Or,
Watson.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, hold on. Let me go down this. Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
Kyler Murray,
Yep. Yeah.
Russell
that's not a
Wilson.
No,
Russell
that's
Wilson.
a question.
No,
Don't
it
say
is
that's not a
not.
question. Don't say that's not
Russell
a question.
Wilson.
Don't say that's
Right.
not a question. Don't say that's not a question.
What?
And
That's
What?
not a
What's-
question at all.
What's
that
not
is a question because with Kyler Murray, I like what he did. I like who he is.
Oh.
But we cannot.
I'm out.
I'm not
I'm
giving
out.
guy
I'm
1 year
I'm out.
100%. It's
I'm
a question.
out.
It's a question.
I'm out.
It is not a
Whether
question.
you say
Not
it's a
not
question,
guaranteeing
you
it.
lose
Not a question.
credibility.
I'm not guaranteeing it, but it is definitely
All
a
right, keep
question.
going. Keep going. Keep
It's
going.
definitely a question.
Okay, I'm
Russell
at-
Wilson, I
I'm-
agree with. You
I'm
got
at
5
7.
easy.
I'm at 7 right now. Drew
All right.
Brees.
Yes.
Breeze, yes.
8. I'm at Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
40 plus though, and he didn't look too good with the team he had on week
Okay.
1.
Now I'll still take
Oh,
that.
shush you. That's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Yes.
10. Now hold on. So we're at 10 elite. Okay.
Right.
Now we're gonna go through that like middling tier that
Wait,
we
who
know.
was our 8th? Did we say Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan?
Not
No, we
yet.
haven't even gotten there yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
I'm
Okay.
at,
Okay,
I
no,
still have them.
No, I wanted to prove Tom a question. I wanted to prove something to Tom. Okay, so now Carson Wentz,
Yep.
Yes.
11.
but he's injured.
Matt Ryan,
Yep.
Matt Ryan, yes.
Joker though.
Cam Newton.
Cam's Cam.
Ooh,
I'll give
Cam.
you that.
I'll go Cam. I'll go
Wait,
Cam.
That's
But
13. But wait, this is
But
like
wait.
a very bad infomercial. But wait, there's more. Josh Allen from Buffalo.
That's
Yeah.
a combo.
I'm thinking
That's a
Josh.
combo. That's a conversation.
You
Okay,
can have that
by the way,
combo.
I
Yeah.
will definitely say that that's a conversation.
I agree
That's
with that.
fine. Kyler Murray, you're out
No,
of
that's
your
a
mind.
conversation
You're
too.
stupid.
So
That's a
14.
conversation too.
No, it is
Hold
not.
on.
He's in
Okay.
his second season, so you can't.
Yeah, let's let Tom go. Tom,
So
Tom,
14
give me your rebuttal. Give me your
Hold
rebuttal
on.
for
My
Kyler.
daughter's even upset at you. That's 14.
What? Hold John, Eric.
Yeah.
Name one thing Dak is better at than Kyler Murray.
What are
He's
you
taller.
talking? I haven't
No.
seen enough for Kyler. We can't
He's
distinctively
He's
say that.
taller.
We can't
He's
distinctively say that for anybody because when it's gonna come down to throwing the football. And I have 1 year of Kyler Murray throwing the football where he seems very accurate, but I haven't seen him lead a team. While Dak has been in positions where he's not really leading a team. Dak's been in the playoffs and Kyler hasn't. Well, it's only 1 year. So
Dude, can I
That's
tell you something?
nonsense, dude.
Can I tell you something? This is just from just an outside perspective. Think about this. Kyler Murray got drafted to one of the worst franchises in the NFL. One of the worst. Traditionally, one of the worst. The Arizona Cardinals, outside of the Warner Fitzgerald connection
Super
that they
Bowl.
had for only a couple years, the Cardinals are historically
really bad.
atrocious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
He looked phenomenal last year and said nothing. And this year started off the season already beating a team that was in the Super Bowl, projected by many to go back. So let's just work off of that.
But
Okay.
here's my thing with that is, are we going to say 5-10-1 is phenomenal? Because that's my issue. If we're going to
For
talk
that
about
team?
guys
that
proving
team?
they met expectations. They met expectations last year. I'm not going to give you a bunch of credit for meeting expectations. You didn't exceed them. So 5-10-1. Look, you didn't have a bad year, but you still had a top 5 pick. So Kyler played good. He had a good rookie year, but we've had guys like Baker Mayfield also have a good rookie year, and we're talking about Cleveland moving on from him right now. I don't think Arizona's going to move on from Kyler, but putting him ahead of Dak Prescott right now is just disrespect. It's not disrespect, but it's questioning a guy that you just want to question. You know what I mean? It's just Dak's not the perfect guy, and he's on America's team, and they've underachieved. But Dak's been to the playoffs. Has he won a playoff game? I think he's won one, right?
I think he won.
Okay.
Did you see that playoff win, by the way?
It was ugly. But
Okay.
I'm saying you're putting that next to a guy that hasn't even made it to the playoffs yet. Hasn't won 6 games yet. So my point is, can we let him do that first? Can we let him do it first?
So let's go back to the list to see what number we were at.
No,
We're at 12.
So
We're
you
at
know-
12.
So, no.
We were at
No,
10.
my friend, we're at 14.
I know that, but that's your list.
How are we
That's
at 14?
No, it's both of ours because I'm asking you.
I know.
Hold up.
I disagree with Wentz. I disagree with Matt Ryan. I disagree with Kyler Murray.
You'd have
You're
you
tripping
would
on Wentz
take-
and Matt Ryan.
You would take Dak Prescott over Wentz and Matt Ryan.
I said
No.
rotation.
No.
I said Wentz was injury prone and Matt Ryan's a choker. So it's like,
My man,
you still make
I don't know why you would say choker. They went to the Super Bowl. He threw a dime to Julio Jones, and because of the coach's ignorance and inability to run the ball, they lost that Super Bowl.
Right.
Stop.
All right, continue with the list. Who's next? Who's next?
You were much more credible
let's get-
than Eric 2 seconds ago. Hold on.
So wait, let's
keep
get this
going.
straight. We have Lamar, Pat, Aaron, Russell, Breeze, Brady, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz,
Josh Allen, he said.
Josh Allen and Kyler. We had his arguments. Deshaun Watson.
Russell Wilson.
I said Russell. Who else did we have? Because
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. That's 10. All right, so we have 10, 100%, 2 questions. Who's next?
And then we have Allen. No, you're not eating that. My daughter's trying to eat my remote control thing. No, don't start that. I know you're just as upset at these guys as I am. I know. Then we have Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, yes. So we have 11,
Okay.
100%, 2 questions. 14. Who's 14?
Okay. Well, that was 4, so that would be.
Yeah.
And then we have Kirk Cousins.
I would take Kirk.
Me
I might-
too.
Whoa.
Probably taking Dak. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I don't really like it with Kirk. Tom, take that one. Tom, I want to hear what you would say about that.
I would just like it with Kirk. I think he's a better thrower of the ball and a better decision maker. We give Dak so much credit when he has the best talent, arguably in the history around him. When Kirk was in Washington, they're all right. Minnesota, he's got weapons, and we know he's not elite.
Oh, we
But
said Ben Roethlisberger too. I forgot Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben
We had Ben
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger too.
Okay,
So we have him at like 15 right now.
no problem. Now let me ask you a question. Daniel Jones.
No.
No?
Need
Okay.
to see more.
I'm
Need to see
taking
more.
Dak right now.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted Matt Stafford
Matt Stafford.
Ooh.
Matt Stafford.
all day.
I
All
like
day.
I like
All
it.
day.
I like it. Okay.
All day.
I'm surprised you like that because you don't
No,
like
I do.
You
I
don't really
respect-
like good QBs. So
I
I'm surprised.
respect Matt Stafford a lot.
Okay.
He does a lot.
Now, Carr out of the Raiders.
I'd take Dak. I like Derek though. I do.
That's a conversation. I'll give you that's a conversation.
That's a tough one for me.
By the way, Carr's numbers are surprisingly good.
Very good. Very good. I
I'm
do
thinking
like
I'm
Derek
taking
Carr.
Carr, but it's very close.
Okay, so we're
Hold up. We're gonna need to question him on that one. Tom
What?
DiFilippo. I remember having a conversation in our lovely apartment about a year ago of me telling you Derek Carr would be a perfect fit for your Indianapolis Colts. And
Right.
you told me Derek Carr is a bum. So
I don't know if I said bum. Listen. What I want for the Colts is a young rookie quarterback who's going to energize the franchise. I don't want
He's
a guy, I want new blood. Derek Carr, I think in a situation with Dallas with all the weapons makes sense.
And by the
I
way,
think he's
one
not
of the
doing
best-
much better than Dak, if at all. I
One of
think
the
it-
best
I think
QBs.
Listen, I said it was close, but I'm taking Carr.
One of the best QBs in the NFL for the last 16 years, Phillip Rivers, that is on the Colts. I would also take Phillip Rivers, and he's been
Tom.
one of the best
Listen.
QBs.
Tom,
I got a bias against Rivers, so I'm taking Dak over Rivers. I
Thank
can't
you.
stand Phillip Rivers.
other Tom.
I'm taking Dak over Rivers.
Okay, I think you got outvoted on that one. So
Listen,
we have him at 16. Realistically we have him at 16. I'm not taking Kyler over him yet. I'm not taking Josh Allen over him just yet, but they're conversations. He's in that conversation with guys like Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford,
Eric,
Cam Newton.
I have 3,300 clients in my memorabilia business. If I posted right now, who would you take, Kyler Murray or Dak Prescott? 3,300 people would say Kyler Murray.
We're gonna have
If
to
you
do a
want
poll.
me to post your name,
We'll pull that.
attach and say
Yeah.
this Joker would take Dak Prescott, by the way, you might as well leave Facebook because you're going to get killed.
Poll
My
it.
guy.
We'll poll it too. I want to
Poll
see.
it.
I do want to see everyone's opinion on that.
Okay, next. So we're at like
16
15 with a
I think-
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
arguments. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Okay.
I'd go Dak, but it's close.
Okay. And by the way, there's a bunch of young potential out there that is on the up and coming that I would like to talk about, at least looking into soon. One of them, it can't wait to see. Now, I wouldn't take him. I would take Dak, but I can't wait to see Tua.
Tua, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tua.
Okay. I can't wait to see Joe Burrows continue to do what he's doing. And by the way,
Good
Burrows
debut.
had a nice
Good
opening day.
debut.
Yeah,
He looked
he
well.
had a good debut. I wouldn't say it was great, but he had a
No,
good
I said-
debut.
No.
The
So
wheels surprised me a little bit.
And I was
Drew Lock,
I like
Young.
Drew Lock. Not yet for Dak, but yeah.
not yet, but up and coming.
They're going to be a good offense.
Yeah, he's on
Okay.
his way.
So we have 3 up and comings, and then we also have Tannehill, which has put up better numbers throughout his entire career than Dak Prescott.
I don't like Ryan Tannehill.
I don't know.
I'm asking you guys. No, I'm not saying like, or I'm not.
Not
can we
over
agree that
Dak.
numbers don't lie. Can we agree that the numbers don't lie? Right? They're
I
there,
mean,
they
I can't
are what they
agree.
are.
I think you can manipulate numbers sometimes. I think you
also
can.
agree. I agree with that.
You
All I'm
got to go
saying
to the
is-
eye test too.
Ryan Tannehill last year led a team in the Titans, right, to a nice healthy run into the playoffs in unfavorable matchups, and looked good, looked great throughout the whole season. And by the way, you would argue that his team is much less than Dak Prescott's. So why are we saying I don't like Ryan Tannehill, but we like Dak? I don't understand. You have A.J. Brown as your main wide receiver,
Very good receiver.
Eric Henry, and a defense of gritty guys, but nothing over the top that makes us say, wow. Okay, Dak Prescott's got 4 times the weapons, but yet you give Dak Prescott not a free pass, but you're lenient. And once again, I want to point this out. You ready? Ryan Tannehill's a white guy and Dak's not. So who are we giving the walk, brother?
See,
I don't.
I'm going to let you answer that while I play with my daughter because I probably don't even want to hear the answer.
Well, for our viewers out there and everyone that's listening, I do like Ryan Tannehill more than Tom. I don't know about Tom, TC, other Tom over here. I don't know how much you like Ryan, but I do think Ryan Tannehill is a decent quarterback, and I think he's in the same conversation as Dak. If I was taking the Cowboys, I'd put Dak there, and I think Dak could also succeed in the Tennessee offense with a lot of play action stuff off Derrick Henry, and it's not a far separation from those guys. By no means am I saying Dak deserves $40 million. TC, you're standing there on an island with Dak's a top 10. I don't agree with that. I think he's right where we have him in that 15 to 10 range, maybe the 15 to close to 10 range, because I'd take him over Goff and Cousins and guys like that. But that's the conversation he's in. I feel like the conversation we're having is where he belongs.
Go ahead, TC.
Stirring the pot just a little more for our Dallas Cowboy fan. You're saying like we're being lenient with Dak Prescott. Why were we so lenient with Tony Romo?
That's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I really appreciate that. So Tony Romo, during his career, is the all-time Cowboys leader in passing yards. Do you know what he hasn't had that Dak Prescott's had?
What?
Education time. Ready? Tony Romo has never had a defense ranked better than 15. Dak Prescott in 3 years has had a defense ranked better than 5th. Tony Romo played a Peyton Manning team when he set the all-time record. They went into the game together. Tony Romo put up 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 505 yards. Peyton Manning threw for 5 touchdowns, 535 yards, 52 points. Tony Romo put up 48. You know what happened at the end of the game? Tony Romo put up 48 points. They said it was Tony Romo's fault because he gave up an interception. By the way, the defense gave up 52 points. That sums up Tony Romo's career. So when someone says to me, Tony Romo, blah, 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 Tony Romo never had an opportunity to stay on the field long enough because he was running for his godforsaken life every single down trying to make a play happen. So, by the way, Tony Romo was always top 5 quarterback statistically in the NFL. And by the way, has the best 4th quarter completion rating in the history of the NFL. When everybody says he was not a clutch quarterback, the reason why they said that, this is where the wagon comes back full circle, Mr. Sika, because he played for America's team and they criticized him time and time again. But you want to know why they criticized him? Because Tony Romo stepped up to the mic and wanted all the smoke. So when he stepped up to the mic, he said, I have to do a better job. When he threw for 5 touchdowns, he came on and said, I should have never threw that interception. You know what shouldn't have happened, my man? Your team shouldn't have given up 52 freaking points. That's what shouldn't have happened. So when guys like you say, well, why not Tony Romo? By the way, Tony Romo, in the Seattle game that he's notoriously known for botching a field goal hold, name me another starting quarterback that has to hold for a field goal kicker. Go ahead. I'm waiting. No, I'll be here. Go ahead. Right. I got plenty of time. Right.
See, Tom,
that was a great
your question. It was your question.
Yeah. I was just curious. That's all.
No, but guys, by the way, I'm still. You can tell me when. I'm still waiting.
See, I don't want to. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Especially today, I'd have to go deeper to see if anyone did it around that year, but I agree. The punters.
Eric, the answer is never. The answer is never. He was a backup quarterback. That's why he was the placeholder for the field goal kicker. When he came in, they had nobody readily prepared to hold the field goal. So the quarterback of the team said, let me do it. In Seattle, where it rains. And by the way, if that's not a leader for you, you know what he did when he botched the field goal? He grabbed the ball and actually almost ran it in the end zone.
He tried
himself.
to. Yeah, he made a play.
Guys,
Now, I don't hate. I don't want to question Tony Romo when it comes to that with Dak, because I see them as very similar. I agree with you. Tony Romo got a lot of hate he didn't deserve. I think he was a good quarterback for Dallas. He belongs in your Ring of Honor or whatever y'all have.
He belongs in your Ring of Honor too.
He doesn't. He don't belong in the Hall of Fame or nothing. But he belongs in your Ring of Honor. He was a great Cowboy. And when it comes to guys like Dak, I think I'm telling you right now, I think he's getting the same treatment from a lot of people. I do. I think he shows up, and you made a point. Tony might be better than Dak, but my point is, at the end of the day, Dak Prescott, well, he might not deserve $40 million. He is a good starting quarterback in this NFL, and he is around those Jared Goffs, those Kirk Cousins, and those guys that are getting paid. And
nobody's saying
he's getting criticized more than those guys.
Eric, I'm not saying to you he's not a good quarterback. I'm not. I'm not saying to anybody that he wouldn't go in and he's a good time manager, play whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not. All I'm saying to you is when you play for America's team and you want $40 million, it's either you put up or you shut up.
Agreed.
And that's all I'm saying. So when we rank guys in the top, whatever we want to rank them, right? We go down the list and we're ranking guys. We're doing it together. I'm asking you guys your opinion on it. If you can't emphatically tell me, and you can't, inside the top 11, you can't emphatically tell me.
No.
You were like, well,
I have him at 15. I have him at around 15. I agree. Okay. I agree with that.
So there's 32 teams you have him at 15. You want a top fit. You want the top 15 quarterback. You want the 15th ranked quarterback leading your franchise for $40 million, bro?
No, I don't want to pay him. I don't want to pay him.
I'm just saying.
I'll give him Kirk Cousins money. I think that's where my point's getting lost. I'll give him Kirk Cousins money. 3 years, $33 million a year. That's a good extension for Dak, in my opinion. 3 years, almost $100 million. That's good to me. Now, when it comes to the criticizing of him, hey, he's asking for $40 million, he's not that top quarterback. I get that. But when it comes to questioning him and saying, oh, he's not even at the level of guys like Goff or Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill, I feel that's unfair because that's the category he belongs in, and that's the category of guys he deserves to get paid like.
But Eric, it's fine. I'm not saying your argument is a bad one. I'm not saying that you're crazy for saying that. But what I'm saying is this, is if you watch the plays of the game as someone who's watching analytics and a football fan, not just the guy who's trying to prove his point of what did he do over the overall season. All I'm saying to you is he is substantially worse. And there's many reasons why. Number one, last year, the Cowboys were 1-7 against teams that are 500 or better. Okay. And against teams that are 500 record or better, they were 1-7. Dak Prescott in 4 of those games threw for no touchdowns. He led the league in what the analytics, what ESPN and some of these guys call bad passing attempts, meaning the pass was so bad it actually wasn't close to the receiver in order for the receiver to make a play on it. He led the league in it. The other stat is you have to look at his completion percentage down the field of 30 yards or more. You have to look at his touchdowns of 30 yards or more in the league. There are many. Jared Goff, it was like, I got to look at it again. I'll get it for you guys because I wasn't readily available. But Jared Goff led the league in touchdowns down the field. Actually was second, right behind Patrick Mahomes. Guys, you have to look at these things, and that's why you can't compare them. Now, is there times that Dak Prescott looks better than Goff? Yeah, bro, of course, dude. Come on. I mean, everybody has good games. Everyone has games. But he has those good games against the Dolphins. He has those good games against the Redskins, against the Eagles who have no defense. He has those games against teams that you and I can throw a touchdown against. So the fact of the matter is, when it matters, bro, you throw 0 touchdowns 4 times last year. 4. You threw 0 touchdowns. You won 1 game against a team that's 500 or better. You had the last 3 weeks of the season to lock up and you couldn't do it, bro.
How many-
All I'm
How many of those games did Zeke Elliott score a touchdown or rush more than 25 times?
And even with the Zeke argument, if we're talking Goff and Dak, let's look at the game last night. Dak, 64.1% completion percentage, 266 yards, a TD, no picks, three carries for 30 yards and no rushing TDs. Goff, 64.5%, 275 yards, 0 TDs, a pick, 4 carries for 15 yards. So if that doesn't say they're similar at the end of the day, and when one's getting paid an enormous amount of money and one's being told it's ridiculous that he would ask for so much money, which I agree. He doesn't deserve $40 million. But it's ridiculous he would ask for Jared Goff kind of money, and he's doing the exact same thing Jared Goff is doing, and he's an OPI away. He's an OPI away from winning that game and a bad fourth down call away from.
He's not. Jared Goff was almost averaging 10 yards a pass, meaning every time Jared Goff threw the ball was almost a first down. Dak Prescott was averaging 6 yards a pass. And by the way, going back to your Zeke Elliott point, 2 years ago when Zeke Elliott was suspended for the first 6 games, the offense Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdowns in 6 games. By the way, without Zeke Elliott taking pressure off him, Dak Prescott is worse than bad. They had to go out and get Amari Cooper and overpay for Amari Cooper. Sorry, boys, you can't give me the argument.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Well, Tom, finish what you're about to say.
Yeah, listen, we're gonna have to agree to disagree, but let's just do quick because we were on that for a minute. Let's go quick through the other games real quick. What's our reaction to Tampa Bay losing to New Orleans? It's what I thought was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I thought we just saw Tampa Bay's offense like a little out of sync. Guys weren't on the same page, but with no preseason, I expected that. And New Orleans was what I thought they would be. Besides Michael Thomas not having a big game.
They're still they're going to be the second best team in that division. The Saints will win the division. Tampa will be the second best. Tampa will be a wild card. Like you said, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
With Arians learning Brady learning everybody else. They'll be good. I don't think it'll come to like week 3. Like week 2, they'll play better. Week 3 is when you'll really start seeing the Buccaneers.
So can we all agree it's not time to panic for Tampa? It's not time to panic.
You're all right. You're fine.
Nah, Tampa's good. I want to point out one more quick pick that everybody. One more quick. Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out just real quick. The guys were no, but biggest surprise. I think I was surprised at how well the Broncos held up with no Von Miller, no Bradley Chubb on the edge. Against a very good rushing team in the Titans. I was astonished that the Jaguars won when they had a fire sale in the offseason.
Yeah.
Putting up 27 points because that Colts defense is legit.
Yeah, we're supposed to be good, but 19-20 Menshaw went. So
secondary was questionable. We have some questions about that.
I was very, very I was stunned. I was pleasantly surprised at how well the Raiders played.
Yeah, they looked good.
Who made that pick? Who told y'all?
Josh Jacobs.
I was actually pleasantly surprised at how well the Panthers played, and I think Matt Rule's gonna be a good coach over there. And I will leave you with this because today I'm spending a little time with my daughter, so I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Are the Patriots really going to be this good again with Cam Newton? And are they once again going to come out of the AFC when it's all said and done? Do we ever bet against Bill Belichick? Do we just say, bro, Cam Newton looks sick, and he did. 2 TDs, 15 carries, 75 yards. And guys, I love you. Julian Edelman, 5 catches, 75 yards. By the way,
57 yards.
My sports radio with Jon Entel is out of here because I told you, don't sleep on the guy that's going to get 100 receptions again this year. Tom, it was a pleasure meeting you. Yeah. Tom, D, and Eric, always. Guys, we'll have you guys in the studio again sometime very soon as the NFL season continues to ramp up, and as we see Dak Prescott to continue to decline, I'll give you guys reason to continue to stick up for Dak Prescott. As always, apologist. Someone's got to do it. Love you guys. I'll see you later.
I got you, man. Appreciate you coming, man.
Absolutely anytime. I'll see you later.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we still have a few more things to touch on, but appreciate having Jon around. I think while we touched on football, I think we've had enough of football.
Yeah, we got to move on.
I think we could touch a little NBA before we end up heading out of here as well. This is going to be a long episode for y'all if y'all didn't peep. But in the NBA, Lakers take down the Rockets in 5. I got to hear my residential LeBron fan. I want to say Lakers fan, but he's a Thunders fan. I want to hear
Thunder fan, but a big LeBron fan. It's I said before the series it would go 6, but I was thinking 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe Harden got hot like he did in Game 1, but I think after you saw Game 1, Lakers were like, all right, let's do what we need to do, get out of here.
Right.
And you saw LeBron and AD. They're not the 2 best players in the world, but they're 2 of the top 5 best players in the world. And when they're both clicking, it's hard to stop. And with the Rockets, I know they're like, we don't got height, it don't matter. It's all about the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, AD started to get it going, and it looked like the height mattered a little bit. But
Right.
I'm very happy to see the Lakers in the conference finals. Hopefully, Bron gets his chip again. But the bigger question is with the Clippers.
Oh, with the Clippers tonight. Who do we have in Game 7?
Nuggets. Game 7 tonight.
I want to hear everyone's picks. Let's go with our guest first.
Yeah,
Nuggets
GC.
Clippers.
I'm taking the Clippers for one reason and one reason only: Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, bro.
Well,
Tom?
I Kawhi Leonard's, in my opinion, best. I'm gonna say the best basketball player in the world. I like Kawhi. Like what he does on the offensive side, and then what he does on the defensive side.
All right, Max Kellerman. Anyway,
Tom, who you got?
tonight, listen, bro, I'm shocked it's coming to 7.
Same.
After Game 6, I was like, what the hell? But listen, with all my heart, I want the Nuggets. But I expect the Clippers to come out. And I think they're actually probably win by like 10 to 15 points. I think they're really going to – like every game that they're losing, they're up big.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're letting off the gas. All of a sudden, the Joker's getting going and Murray's getting going. I think they lock down tonight and they get to the conference finals to meet the Lakers.
I agree 100%. I want to pick Denver. My gut's telling me pick Denver, but at the end of the day, I'm too smart to not pick Kawhi Leonard. And
but I
want
Denver's got a shot.
Right. And I want to shut down a lot of the media's coming out and saying this is a big legacy game for Kawhi. I disagree. I think this is going to be a bigger legacy game for Paul George. If he doesn't show up, it is – if he wins, he's getting no credit. If they lose and he doesn't show up and Kawhi shows up, it's going to be on him. For Kawhi, he's going to show up. I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to show up whether they win or lose. I think they're going to bring amount of defensive intensity that we haven't seen from the Clippers yet this year. And – I mean, they're gonna bring out that energy they brought out against Dallas. Dallas at the end of that series where they were all up and screaming and ready to go. That's just the type of guys they are, and I think Kawhi is gonna solidify himself as the top 3 player in this league.
I did want to read this stuff. I saw this on Twitter, and I was shocked to see it. It says Montrezl Harrell, who everybody loves to brag about, 6 man a year, which I think he's overrated, but. Rebounded against the Nuggets this series. Game 1, 3 rebounds. Game 2, 3 rebounds. Game 3, 3 rebounds. Game 4, 2 rebounds. Game 5, 1 rebound. Game 6, 3 rebounds. He's averaging 2.5 rebounds a game when he averaged 7.
That's bad.
That's bad. Now, I don't know what's going on. Is Jokic just bullying down there?
I think they're probably throwing multiple bodies at him I haven't watched the whole series.
Yeah, no.
I haven't watched that much.
I've watched like the ending of the games. But
yeah, like I'm tuning in for the second half.
Yeah.
But
that shocked me when I saw that.
Yeah, Jokic is a big body. Paul Millsap's probably a guy getting thrown at him. Mason Plumlee's a big body. Yeah, they probably have got bodies getting thrown at him. But how
about another thing? Mike D'Antoni in the Rockets.
Mike D'Antoni. Now look, I got a strong opinion on this. We're gonna go to TC first, though. I want to hear what TC has got to say.
So I'm a Knicks fan. Tom knows this.
I'm sorry.
I'll take some condolences. I can send you my address. You can send me some flowers and some fruit baskets. And
I
stuff.
might. Edible arrangement.
Might need it.
But listen, D'Antoni, I don't think he's a guy that will win a chip as an NBA coach. Like, you look at the teams he's coached. He coached them Suns. They were good.
Talented teams, yeah.
Coached the Knicks when they were bad, and then they were okay, and then they were okay, and then they made the playoffs, and then Woodson came in. He was with the Lakers, and now with Houston. I don't see him winning one. He will have a job next year, and I will be. I don't know where yet, but he will have a job.
What?
I would have to think about it a little bit longer.
Right.
All right. That was gonna be my next question. Where's he going?
I think I'll go. I think it's time, honestly. I think the Houston experiment hasn't worked with him. I mean, I shouldn't say it hasn't worked. They've had great teams, and they were in a Game 7 against the Warriors. It worked, I guess, but I think it ran its course. Now I think it's really interesting who's going to replace him. I saw some things on Twitter today, whether it's like a whole switch up. Like they're going with a whole new vibe. Van Gundy, Tyronn Lue. Now I think those. Now, I don't know about Van Gundy anymore, but
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I don't know about
Van Gundy anymore, but Tyronn Lue, I feel like that's a nice switch up, like a new face, a new system. You're not just shooting threes every 30 seconds or not even every 10 seconds, right? It's a new switch up.
Has Philadelphia yet? Do the Sixers have a coach yet?
No, Brett Brown's still gone.
Brett Brown's gone.
I think D'Antoni with the Sixers might be all right because you got that point guard big guy with Simmons and Embiid, and you could be like, all right, Nash and Stoudemire.
Right. Besides, Simmons can't shoot shit, so.
Well, see, I got a strong opinion on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Mike D'Antoni, because of this, shouldn't get a job in the NBA next year. And I'm furious about this because supposedly Mike D'Antoni told the team on the plane, I'm not coming back. He said, I'm a free agent. I'm going somewhere else. Well, I'm sorry, Mike. Like TC said, I don't see you as a guy winning the championship. You've had a lot of teams. You've tried this a lot. And this team fully invested in what you were doing. We got rid of the bigs. We sat Tyson Chandler on the bench the whole season. We got rid of Clint Capella. We ran PJ Tucker at the 5, exactly what you wanted. And now you're going to come and tell us that you're leaving? That's one of those, fuck that, you're fired.
Right.
Forget this shit. So I don't want to see Mike D'Antoni. I could see him in Philly, like he said, but I don't want to see him coaching next year because I think that's outrageous that he would have the audacity to do that after you got everything you want. You did all this. You let James Harden take all this scrutiny. You let Russell Westbrook take the scrutiny while Russell Westbrook didn't perform. Don't get me that wrong. I have a whole different thing on Russell. But my thing is where he goes, I could see Philly. They need a lot of shooters if they're going to do that. But I really don't want to see him coaching next year. I think the jury's out on him. Verdict is guilty of not winning a championship. It's not going to happen.
I agree with TC though. I think you are going to see him. I think
you'll see him. Someone's going to do it.
Bad teams
I don't want it.
He's made the playoffs 5 straight years or whatever, how many years he's ever made, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope he ends up in Chicago, a lost place. I just hope he ends up somewhere he doesn't.
Right, I can see him in Chicago. I can see that. Kobe White, Levine, shooters. I can see something like that.
But for Houston's next coach, while you mentioned Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy, another name out there is Sam Cassell. And I like Cassell or Ty Lue. I do like those fits. I think they can get the most out of Harden. And I think you're going to have a big question with Russ, though. I think this next year's a prove-it year with Russ. If not, fire sale. And
I think what Harden's saying, we're one piece away. But you got the 2 pieces already. You just need to perform better.
I think that's his way of saying
Russ ain't that
D'Antoni's thing wasn't going to work.
They need a big. Like I understand they want the Super Bowl, but they need a big. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna throw 2 names out there. One of them I believe is a free agent. One of them is on a sorry franchise as of right now with the Detroit Pistons. Watch Blake Griffin and watch DeMarcus Cousins.
Okay.
DeMarcus Cousins. I like Cousins. I do like Cousins.
I would like to see that.
So I watch BG or watch Cousins.
And Cousins can shoot that 3, and BG can shoot it a little bit. So
I think BG would just clog the lane too much. Him and Russ going downhill with that much power, you're gonna take the ball out of Harden's hands a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting though.
Right, but
and then last thing, bro. Is the Greek Freak leaving Milwaukee?
Is he
Or is he
leaving
gonna be
Milwaukee?
My
TC.
opinion. Yeah, TC, go ahead. I keep forgetting you're here. Go ahead.
Like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, so
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say. I will edit this shit out the show right now. Don't say anyone's going to New York. I'm tired of it. I root for the Nets, but no.
I think it's more likely you see him in Golden State. Like it's like that. Ooh, it's the what if. And Tom, I'm sorry to bring it up. Like it's like when KD was like when he was OKC and he's like it was it's like oh he might go to Golden State and then out of nowhere it was like the hammer was dropped and he was there.
Right.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'll just leave it at that.
Tom?
Listen, I think you see him in Milwaukee, but I wish that he went somewhere else. I don't want to see him to go to Miami, even though that was the popular thing, because he just lost to Miami. Mm-hmm. If they didn't play Miami, then cool, go to Miami. That'd be sick. But you just played them, kind of like that KD thing. Like I don't want to see that. But does he win a chip in Milwaukee? I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I agree. I want to see him stay. I do agree that if he doesn't stay, he's probably going to Golden State. So many shooters around. They're going to have the cap space. I don't think they draft a big with that intention that he ends up playing their 5. But I think Milwaukee has to make a big play. I don't like a trade for Chris Paul. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think you need a guy like a Devin Booker, CJ McCollum, even maybe DeMar DeRozan might be a good move where you can move Chris Middleton, get something cheap. Maybe even if you want to take a wild swing, just say, let's see what John Wall has left. Mm-hmm. But Milwaukee has to make a move or they're going to lose them. And we got to tune in.
I do want to disagree with you. I do think at 2 they take Wiseman. So I do think they go with a big.
I think it's just
a personal opinion, but I don't know. I just think they go with Wiseman.
Yeah, I think he's just going to ruin their spacing to the point you're asking Draymond to shoot a lot of threes. If you're going to ask that from Draymond, you don't know really what you're going to get, especially with Wiggins out there.
I'd kick Draymond to the curb.
Oh, you won't like Well, appreciate it, man. We've had a long show today, so I think it's time to sign out. Went through some NBA. Hey, bro, always appreciate it. If you ever want to be on again, let us know. Show love to Tommy C over here, our guy. Show love to My Sports Radio with Jon Entel. Great guest appearance today. And hey, bro, and if my co-host got any last words, I think we're out.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, yo. Peace, love, positivity. See y'all later.
You too, buddy.